J&J Redesigned. The target audience for the redesign of J&J is Norma and Martin Boomer, focusing mainly on Norma. She is a baby boomer. She's also Jewish, and she keeps kosher. Her children no longer live with her, but she helps the youngest through college. Her husband often accompanies her to the store, and he also has bad knees. There are other stores closer to her, but she has been loyal to J&J because she likes the store. When we start looking at the 5 touch points for the redesign, the first and one of the most important is definitely the entrance. For this target audience, Norma enjoys the layout of the store, but she's not pleased with the customer service all the time. She would also love a coffee bar or a gathering place to talk to friends that she may meet in the store, as she's there often. She's a big part of the community, and she does often see her friends there. She also would just like to be able to sip on coffee while she shops. And it would just also give a place for Martin to sit down if he needed to. The next point of interest that Norma has is the produce section of the store. She always visits the produce section unless she is just stopping in quick, but she normally visits this section of the store. It's one of the most important to her. She does enjoy the variety of the produce, but she wishes there were options that were cut up. This is something that would be easy for J&J to add to the produce section. The next interest point in this store in J&J is dairy. Norma and Martin don't normally drink or eat dairy because it doesn't sit well with them, which is their own personal preference. However, something J&J can add to this section is offering more kosher options for this specific demographic. Our next interest point is the deli. The deli section is one of Norma's favorites. She often orders from the deli. She tells her friends about the meats she gets there, and she serves it to her friends. She also buys kosher options from the package section of the store. However, she does wish there were more kosher options at the deli. Another thing that could be added to this section of the store is a place for Martin to sit when the wait gets long. This is something that would just show that J&J cares for their customers by giving them a place to sit and thinking about the long waits at the deli. The deli could also be expanded for this demographic. Adding kosher options to the actual walk-up counter would be beneficial to Norma, as she keeps kosher and other Jewish people like her do keep kosher. Having those options available there would also help J&J serve their customers. Norma doesn't have much to say about the checkout process. And for this, J&J just needs to look at the amount of people they have manning the checkouts and what they can do to make sure that the checkout process goes more smoothly. Norma does not like the self-checkouts. She is from an older generation, and instead of having the self-checkouts, she would much rather have them gone and have more customer service and checkers there to help her when she is checking out. There's not much to say on if other people feel the same way, but for this demographic, having even more express lanes open for those boomers who are coming through to use would be beneficial. So strategies to get these in place would be really just looking at the customer and their needs and what would be easy additions for J&J to add. Adding benches to the deli, for instance, would be a simple task for them to add those benches for older customers or just customers who wanted to take a seat for a while to sit. Other ones would be bigger projects like adding a coffee bar, but that would be beneficial to not just the boomer demographic, but also the younger demographics who we want to attract as well. And for our final analysis, looking at the impact that these changes would have, they would have a lot of positive impacts on the boomers and Norma especially. It would give customers more options. It would attract more Jewish customers. If they knew that there was a kosher deli, they might be more apt to shop there and look at it. And it would also just show that J&J is there for their customers and wants to help them in the best way that they can. Finally, just a shout out to these references here for the information about this demographic as well as the images.